Well, she was born premature, and we kind of weren't expecting anything. All of our sonograms up until the time we had her came back nothing. And when she was born, the doctor actually said they didn't talk to us for several hours. We actually didn't get to see her until she was about 4 hours old, and they said that we suspect your daughter has Down syndrome, and which it didn't bother me because I actually worked with kids with Down syndrome before I was pregnant with her, and but when we got the official genetic results a week and 2 days after she was born. It was September 2nd, 2015, and I think that when we got the official she has Down syndrome diagnosis, at first it kind of took me by surprise because I wasn't really expecting it, but at the same time I was, and kind of sat there and cried for the longest time. He was really quiet, but they had actually asked us if we wanted to put her up for adoption, so that hurt us even worse. I think a lot of it was my expectations, because the children I had worked with before, a lot of them were nonverbal, and I was worried that, I'd never get to hear her say mama or anything like that, which I know isn't the case, because every child's different, and every child can do what they want when they want, and it doesn't matter the diagnosis. It just kind of it just kind of hit me all at once with our we were in the NICU still, and so I hadn't even really gotten to hold her as much because when we received the diagnosis, she was still under the bilirubin lights because of jaundice. So we had maybe gotten to hold her a total of maybe 10 hours in that entire week.
Well, she was born, and then we didn't hold her for that whole day.
Yeah,
and then that day that we did get to hold her, it was only 5 minutes, and then they rushed us to Cook's.
So,
and then after that, she was under the bilirubin for
2 weeks.
2 weeks.
So it was kind of it was one of those we received that diagnosis, and we hadn't even gotten to hold our child for any substantial period of time.
Yeah.
So I didn't feel an attachment, which it was hard for me.
Mm-hmm.
But it took some time for me to officially accept it, but I did.
Yeah.
I did. Our first morning shift nurse at Cook's had, once we officially received her diagnosis, when we saw her that next morning, we told her, and she's like, I knew it, I just didn't want to say anything. And she's like, my daughter has Down syndrome, which she had told us about her daughter before. She told us about the partnership, and she was like, they've helped us with resources, they do classes as she's getting older. You can learn about ways to help potty train and different, learning to ride a bike, and they have the buddy walk every year. And so I immediately got on and requested information, and we have been doing things with the partnership since then.
You've had?
Yeah, Yeah, they, I like I said, I mean, the partnership lets me see, whenever we do go to like the buddy walk and we go and do all the other, Down syndrome
Events.
like events that there is, you see all the other kids and just the people in general, the families and everything like that who you can sit there and talk to, and we all pretty much share a similar story.
Mm-hmm.
You stay behind them, you push them a little bit, and they'll definitely take off running, and they'll definitely meet the expectations or pass them.
Mm-hmm.
And it really reaffirmed me that, all right, well, we're doing the right thing. We just got to keep going. We just got to keep helping her, and in turn, she'll take off running, and we won't. At that point, there's nothing going to stop her.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
To me, meeting with other families through the events that the partnership does every year, it's just helped me see how families are with their kids, and it just kind of helps me feel like I'm doing the right thing.
Yeah.
And I feel like I can go to another, like I talked to several moms that are in the partnership as well, and I can talk to them, send them a message on Facebook, hey, Addison's doing this, did your child do this whenever they were younger or her age?
She's made everything easier and a lot better, and so I would say it's gonna be scary, but in the end, it's gonna make your life a whole lot better, because they definitely whenever they hit that milestone, it's an exciting time for you.
I would have to say, first off, your child's not the diagnosis. They can do so much more than what society says that they can do. And just listening to everything negative about a child with Down syndrome is scary at first. It really is. And Google is not your best friend, like everybody says. Dr. Google is the worst thing that you can do, and just because Google actually put a lot of fear into me, and it just taking time to enjoy just the small milestones. We're still working on Addison walking, and she just turned 2, and I see family members that my nieces and nephews, their kids are younger, and because she's the oldest out of all the grandkids, and they're walking or starting to walk, but she's not. And so it's one of those, yes, at first you feel kind of sad, but when she finally hits that milestone, it's something that you can celebrate and just be excited about, and no one can take that away from you. And that's just make a big deal out of everything, every little achievement. And so that's what I would have to say.
Excellent. All right.